Morning. Today we are going to go over our school safety and some plans that we have in place. First and foremost, it is important to remember that our number one priority is student safety and staff safety within the school. We want to create a safe learning environment and safe working environment for everyone. As a school, it is our job to provide students with a safe learning environment. It is all staff members' responsibility to provide students with this environment. We want to set up ways that we can create safe environments. When it comes to school plans, the safety committee will create plans and put them in place for drills. And as staff members, it is our job to make sure that we follow these plans. And it is our job to make sure that our students are educated and know these plans so that when a situation does arise, there isn't panic. They understand what needs to be done and we can get through the drills in an appropriate manner. As a school, it is our job to make sure that students know all plans during your Connect classes. This will be our opportunity to go through plans. You'll be given a safety binder. This binder needs to stay in your classroom at all times. In that binder, there will be all the school plans that we have. There'll be fire drills, tornado drills, school shooter, what happens in a medical situation. All those plans will be in that binder. It is your job during your Connect class to go through that binder with your students every single month. The first time you go through those plans, go through in depth. If you can even practice them if you'd want to. And then every other month after that, just make sure that the students get a quick reminder of the plans. When we're not dealing with drills, we have a couple of daily tasks that we need to go through to ensure the safety of the school. And this happens every single day during school drop off and during school checkout. So students are dropped off at 8:20 by either their parents or the bus. At 8:20, students will be assigned to a certain door. They get this on the first day of school, and then every day for the rest of the school year, that will be the door that they enter in. Once they get to their door, students will be checked in by certain staff members. Elementary will go in by door 3. Middle school and high school go in at door 7. Assigned staff will go through the check-in process. The check-in process includes students going through a metal detector. They will then do pocket checks. We will check their pockets. They'll take off their shoes. We'll check their shoes. We'll check any hoodies, and we'll check their socks. We go through this process just to make sure that all students coming into the school are safe and they don't have anything on them that could harm themselves or any other students within the school. Okay. After students are checked in, we will offer them breakfast for the following day. And then after students are offered breakfast, they will head to their first hour class. After all students have been checked in, 2 assigned staff will go and walk around the school, the perimeter of the school, to make sure that all students have made it into the building. When students arrive at 8:20, as staff members, it is important that we are out in the hallways, we are present, we are helping students get checked in, and we are engaged with our students. This process will then be repeated at the end of the day. At 3 o'clock, students will get dismissed. They will go through the metal detectors, they will go through pocket checks, and then they will leave for the day. When it comes to drills, it is important that we follow them as intended. Our safety committee puts in a lot of work to make sure that our drills are appropriate and have all the correct steps needed. So we need to make sure that these drills are followed as intended. Again, your safety binders, make sure that they're up to date. They're in your classroom and in a spot that is easily accessible. Whenever we have drills, you're going to take your safety binder with you. And then there is a green piece of paper and a red piece of paper in that binder. Green piece of paper means that all your students are present. Red piece of paper means that you may be missing a student. Again, all binders have a review sheet. These need to be reviewed monthly with your Connect class students. Students will sign that review sheet so we know that they are up to date and have been informed of drills. Now, within the school, it is important that staff members are present, be present in the hallways in between classes on your preps. If you can take a lap around the school, get up, stretch your legs, whatever you may need to do, just take a quick lap around the school, make sure nothing's happening in the hallways. As teachers, we need to make sure that we check our classrooms frequently. We need to make sure that our doors are working, our windows are working, and we need to make sure that our safety binders in our classroom didn't get misplaced. Our ability to stay on top of all safety situations will lead to a safe school, will help eliminate any possible safety concerns that can be avoided. Now, obviously, there are safety concerns that may arise that are out of our control, but if we can eliminate the safety concerns that we can control, that will help create a much safer learning environment for our students. So 3 situations that could arise. First off is a medical situation. If we ever need to call the emergency services for a student or a staff member, we will go into a shelter in place. So if a shelter in place is called, which will be called over the intercom, students are to stay in their classroom. The classes will not be dismissed until the situation has ended. If the situation happens in a classroom, so let's say it happens in a math classroom where we need to call an emergency service member, that classroom will just go to the classroom next door and then they will shelter in place there. Once the shelter in place has been called, that means that medical services have been called. Medical services will come out to the school, help the individual that needs help. And once they have left the building, then over the intercom, we will dismiss students to their next class. If something was to go wrong with our HVAC system, we were to have poor air quality, we will treat this just like we would with a snow day. So students will be distant learning. All students that don't have a computer at home will be given a computer to take home. Make sure as teachers that you have lessons in Google Classroom that students can log into and go through. And if something was to ever happen with our HVAC system, we will try to get it fixed as quickly as possible. So we do not have to be distant learning for too long, but we will treat that just like a snow day. Finally, our fire drills. Our fire drills will be practiced monthly. I know it can get cold in the wintertime. When that happens, we will go through a different procedure, but our fire drills need to be practiced monthly. The first fire drill will be practiced the first week of school, just so that we can run through a fire drill with everyone here so everyone has an idea of what needs to be done. Again, safety binders have the fire drill procedure for your classroom in the binder. Make sure that you are going through that procedure with students monthly and make sure that they are signing that review sheet. Every classroom will be signed a certain door to use to evacuate the building. Once classrooms have evacuated the building, then you need to go across the street. Once you get across the street, you will line up single file line. You will let admin know using either your green or red sheet if all students are present or if you are missing a student. After we have accounted for all students, we will then make sure the building is safe. And then you will be dismissed by class back into the school. So those are 3 drills that we went over. There are other drills that we will have to go over, but we will get into those on a different day. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you and have a good afternoon.